Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Thompson, Minister of Rural Affairs and the proud member of Provincial Parliament for a riding called Huron-Bruce. And today we are really pleased to be at Kinetrix. John, thank you for hosting us for this very important announcement. We appreciate your team behind us and your extended team throughout rural Ontario as well. And why are we all here? We're here to celebrate a milestone. Just 3 weeks ago, Bruce Power celebrated a 25th anniversary, 25 years of growing the nuclear sector and leading by example, not only in Ontario, but around the world. And we also celebrated partnerships as well. And it's because of valued partnerships and the importance of nuclear energy in Ontario, we're here today to recognize that clean, reliable, affordable energy is the foundation on which we can build thriving and diverse local and provincial economies. Today's announcement will undoubtedly energize the entire sector and make the world look to Ontario to see how we're positioning for generational growth. You know, I can't help but celebrate and smile when I think about the innovation and the desire to be best of class when it comes to a clean energy frontier that is driving economic development opportunities, not only in Midwestern Ontario, but across Ontario, and the partnerships that are being realized across Canada as we look to the future that is powered by nuclear. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to move on with this announcement. And I'm so proud to introduce and invite to the podium my friend and colleague, Minister Stephen Lecce. He is an amazing Minister of Energy, and ladies and gentlemen, he rises to embrace the moment, and that moment is ensuring that Ontario is positioned for growth and prosperity for generations to come. Minister Lecce.
Awesome. Well done. All right. Lisa Thompson, bringing the energy this morning here at Kinetrix. Okay, I hope you feel it today. This is an amazing morning. I'm very honored to be here. What a fabulous place to be. A company 100 years old or plus, Canadian founded, innovating, leading the way in the next frontier of clean energy in Ontario. And of course, it's not just in Etobicoke or in the GTHA, it's in rural Ontario. It's in Lisa's community, it's in many communities that you have a presence, and we're so proud of this partnership. The ultimate case study of the Ontario's nuclear advantage is that it is companies like this that are benefiting from the supply chain. Often, you know, we will speak about the resources and the options we can procure. And it is nuclear that stands alone, that has the capacity to fire up Ontario's industrial base. A case study, Bruce alone is investing on an annual basis in this company over $150 million, creating hundreds of jobs, keeping people employed, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises in Canada. And that is the ultimate case study of our why. Why we're doubling down on made at home, made in Canada nuclear power. Why we are saying yes to building at scale and building big. Because the country faces real economic pressure. We face real economic difficulty. And our Premier's message is not to, avoid the fight, but to lean in and to stand up for the most ethical and reliable energy sector on earth. And so we're here at this fabulous place with some amazing colleagues of course, I have to first off recognize the President and CEO of Bruce Power, Eric Chassard. Thank you so much, sir, for your leadership. Rebecca Caron, the President of the Society of United Professionals, thank you so much for your leadership. Andrew Clunas, the President of the Power Workers Union, thank you so much, sir, for the work you do. Daniel Tisch, the President and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, thank you. It was the Chamber report that helped really edify and promote the fact that the Bruce C project could be a game changer for our economy, so thank you for leading the way. I'm very grateful to the Kinetrix staff. I asked John, who's working right now here? But they're working. We're working hard. We're working together, one team, one vision, one mission, which is to stand up for Canada. And of course, I got to thank Lisa Thompson, a wonderful champion, not just for Bruce and the broader the West Coast, as we say affectionately, or she will remind me, but really for rural Ontario, because nuclear power is an investment in rural Ontario, in Northern Ontario, in some of the smallest hamlets and villages of Ontario. You see businesses benefiting from our SMRs, the Darlington refurb, the Bruce refurb, and they will benefit so much more on the next sort of phase of our expansion. So look, the problem I'm going to define is well understood. We need a lot more power in this province to electrify our economy. We're talking about up to 90% more power. So the question for governments is, how do you procure the power? It has to be reliable, it has to be affordable, and perhaps most importantly, it needs to be 24/7. And the benefit of nuclear, it's also non-emitting. It's clean power, which is attracting investment. It's building confidence in the world that if they invest in our grid, you're getting the benefits of a clean electricity system. And so today, we obviously made a commitment through Ontario's Integrated Energy Plan. We're going to generate the power, hydro, nuclear, natural gas, renewables, biomass, biogas. Like, we're in all the above government because we need all resources to prevail. But nuclear is the long-term solution for our economy. 50% of our baseload power, meaning the power that is always available to the families out there, to industry, the farmers, is nuclear power. And Ontario's vision, our Premier's commitment, is to go from 50% baseload power up to 75% by 2050. And how we do that is by doubling down on made-in-Canada nuclear power. Before I get to the punchline, I just want to say Bruce Power, as has been the case across the nuclear sector in this province over the past many years, has been able to deliver unit-by-unit large-scale refurbs on time and on budget. In fact, in the days ahead, this trio will be standing together to announce another unit returned to the grid under budget and ahead of schedule. And that is another fabulous case study following the momentum from the Darlington refurb that was completed 4 months ahead of schedule and $150 million below budget. That doesn't happen. You don't hear that in France, you don't hear it in Japan, you don't hear it in the United States or the UK, but you're hearing it here because we're doing it and we're doing it right. And we're the envy of the world, and I'm very proud to be with you today to profile those successes, to give you the sense of how we got here, because we are confident in the workforce, in the generators, in the technology partners, and in Canada's supply chain. So the Premier, speaking with him late last night, and he said to me, I was reminding him, like, today, Premier, we're announcing the Bruce C, the next phase of this important milestone. And he was very excited. And, you know, what he reminded me to remind you all is that this is the ultimate case study of Team Canada coming together. Workers, skilled unions, industry, businesses, government, First Nation, and obviously local utilities coming together for the benefit of our future. So today, we are very proud to take the next official step forward on the Bruce C project, a project that represents 18,900 jobs, a project that will create over 6,000 permanent jobs, a project that will add $230 billion to Canada's national economy over the next 80 years. And so today our government is saying yes. We are moving forward with the Bruce C project in partnership with Bruce Power, with First Nations, and obviously with the local communities to build this economy and get our supply chain going. And we're very excited. We're very proud to have entered into agreement giving direction to the ISO to enter into a cost-sharing agreement with Bruce Power on the pre-development work. This is the steps before we get going. A project that needs to come online, a project that is essential, 4,800 megawatts. To convert that, that's power for almost 5 million homes. And we need the power, and we're going to build the power. And we're going to do it on time and on budget, and we're going to leverage the best of Canada's supply chain. There's $217 billion is what the study we estimate will benefit Ontario's economy over the next 80 years, an 80-year lifespan. There's no resource that has that type of capacity, perhaps other than some of our hydro fleet. It's a solid intergenerational investment. And what a way to give hope to Canadians when we feel a bit of that, anxiety watching the news every day, watching the markets. Like an investment in our kids. 80 years means our grandkids will have recession-proof, tariff-proof employment. And I'm just very grateful to you all. And I'm grateful to the local community for being a willing host. I want to recognize them, the wardens and mayors, the council members who are with us, because without them, we wouldn't be here either. I want to thank Bruce Power because they are doing something right. Remember, folks, Bruce Power generates roughly 30% of Ontario's entire electricity outputs. They are an energy superpower within this province, and we couldn't do it without them. So thank you. With all that said, we are really focusing on tomorrow, building for the future. And I'm very proud that part of our build out means we need tens of thousands of new people. Like, for anyone out there who often says, what's the plan to get young people working? One of the reasons why I first ran at the tender old age of 31 years old in 2018 was I wanted a voice for younger people in government. I wanted young people to feel like they could have hope again. They can get a job, they could own a home, they could aspire to achieve the dream that my immigrant parents were able to achieve. And I think that fire in the belly was lost for many years in Canada. I think we all felt it a bit. But there's a renaissance taking hold. There's some good work happening. And, we just removed HST on homes, cut the small business tax rate. Today we're announcing an investment that could add $200 billion to our national economy. That should give you all hope. That should give your kids their why, to keep going, keep working hard, graduating with skills so that they can monetize it and use it in the economy. And I know Bruce are looking for people, OPG is looking for people, we're all looking for employees, good qualified employees, which takes me to our next speaker. Rebecca Caron serves as a critical voice within the space, helping us with Andrew really think about a workforce strategy, because we've got the investment, we've got the financing, we've got the regulatory regime, you've got a government on your side, but we need people, good, skilled people ready to get a good job, a job for life. And so I'm very grateful to her for her advocacy, impassioned advocacy for nuclear power, and I'm honored to share the stage with her. So please welcome Rebecca Caron. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you very much for the invitation to join you today. I am Rebecca Caron, the President of the Society of United Professionals, and we are very pleased to see the government continuing to advance a new, full-scale nuclear build at the Bruce site. Today's announcement marks an important step forward for Ontario's energy future. And as the union representing professional workers across Ontario's energy sector, including at Bruce Power and the ISO and right here at Kinetrix, we see every day the strength, the expertise, and the dedication of skilled workers that power this province. Ontario's nuclear sector has been built by professionals whose knowledge and commitment have earned the global respect and helped make this province a leader in clean, reliable nuclear generation. At a time of growing electricity demand, investments like Bruce C are critical in ensuring Ontario has the reliable, affordable, and low-carbon electricity needed to support communities, industry, and long-term economic growth. And projects like this are also an investment in people. They create meaningful careers, strengthen local economies, and help build the next generation of skilled professionals who will carry Ontario's energy sector forward. Our members are proud to contribute to that work and help advance the next chapter of clean energy development in Ontario. The Society of United Professionals looks forward to continued collaboration with government, industry partners, Indigenous communities, and workers across the sector as this project moves forward. I'd like to now introduce Andrew Clunas, the President of the Power Workers Union. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Today's announcement marks meaningful progress in advancing the Bruce C project through early planning and development. Work will help position Ontario to meet future electricity needs. As demand continues to grow, preparing new baseload generation in a timely and responsible way is essential to maintaining system stability and affordability. Bruce C builds on Ontario's long-standing leadership in nuclear energy. With an experienced workforce, established infrastructure, and a strong domestic supply chain, this project is well-positioned to deliver significant economic benefits while supporting thousands of good-paying, highly skilled, unionized jobs during both construction and operation. Thank you. I'd like to pass off to Daniel Tisch, the President and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of
Well, thank you very much, Andrew. And what an incredible moment for Ontario, for Canada. It's not every day you get to be part of a news conference that can add $238 billion to the Canadian economy. So congratulations to everybody involved. I want to start, of course, by thanking and congratulating Minister Leche for his leadership, his continued commitment to ensuring that Ontario has the reliable and the affordable and the clean energy that it needs to grow sustainably for centuries to come. In fact, the last time the Minister and I were together with Bruce Power, we were actually in Washington, D.C., with James Sconiac, COO of Bruce Power, and we had meetings with American business and political leaders, and I got to say, every time we talked about nuclear, there was a little bit of magic in the air, right? Because it really showed how Ontario and Canada can be essential partners to the United States and to countries around the world, but particularly partners in North American energy security. And it was a story that we were so proud to tell. I also want to thank Lisa Thompson for her commitment to advancing rural economies. I've had the pleasure of being in her riding a number of times and working together with her amazing chambers of commerce. And I also want to thank the whole Bruce Power team, led by Eric Chassard. Many local leaders have been part of this success. Local chambers of commerce in Saugeen Shores and Kincardine, community members, they've all helped in some way to bring us together for this moment. We all know that energy is fundamental to economic growth. And at the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, we've heard this so clearly from businesses, from workers, from communities everywhere. Investment depends on certainty, growth requires capacity, and competitiveness relies on energy systems that are stable and scalable and reliable. And at a time of rising global demand, of strained supply chains, of intensifying competition for both investment and the energy to power it, this is so essential. Projects like these, essential to our economy, essential to our sovereignty. And we were really proud to be part of this in producing this economic impact report on the Bruce C project, because it showed that the project can contribute nearly $238 billion to Canada's GDP, and I should say $217 billion of that is right here in Ontario over the lifetime of the project. That's tens of thousands of jobs across Ontario, across Canada, but of course concentrated in the clean energy frontier and in Huron, Bruce, and Wellington counties. So during site preparation and construction alone, total jobs, 18,900 jobs every year on average. But the true impact goes beyond these numbers, because Bruce C means stronger supply chains, and it means opportunities for local businesses, like the 60,000 businesses that I represent today. It will drive activity across sectors, so that's skilled trades, that's advanced manufacturing, that's engineering and technology. It means economic growth for communities like Saugeen Shores and Kincardine, the surrounding areas, and lasting benefits in every part of Ontario. And like all great things, this project is built on partnership. Realizing its true potential, there's still a lot of work ahead, but it will require continued collaboration between Bruce Power, the Government of Ontario, local municipalities, chambers of commerce, and Indigenous people, nations, and communities. I should say that their leadership and participation will all be essential to our shared goal of inclusive and sustainable prosperity. So it's an exciting day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. We look forward to continuing to work with the government and all of our members and Bruce Power to realize the benefits this project promises. Together, we've got an opportunity not only to meet rising electricity demand, but also to power a stronger, a more competitive, and a more resilient Ontario. Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to turn it to the man of the hour, Eric Chassard, President and CEO of Bruce Power. Eric.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, bonjour à tous. What an exciting time for our clean energy frontier, the Western Ontario, for Ontario and Canada. I mean, it's not every day that you have this type of announcement and also the support of our government. So I want to start by a big thank you to Minister Leche for your leadership, your vision, your energy. I mean, the joke we have internally is that if somebody one day finds a way to connect Minister Leche directly to the grid, we're out of business, right? So it's very clear. But today's announcement is it's very big for Canada and the next phase of pre-development work for the proposed Bruce C project. So you heard this from Minister Leche, Minister Thompson, that Ontario is really at a pivotal moment, right? Electricity demand is rising steadily. Our economy grows. Meanwhile, the landscape looks increasingly uncertain. And it's true everywhere. If you want an economy that is going to grow 24/7, well, you need power 24/7, right? There is no other way. So you need a source of power that is highly reliable. And all this underscores the importance of provincial energy security with a very dependable, reliable supply, affordable, of Ontario-made electricity. So Bruce Power is very proud, in fact, to play an important role in providing the province with the reliable, affordable electricity it needs today, but also for the future generation. When we are talking this type of project, we're really talking the next 2, 3, 7 generations in front of us who will highly benefit from what we are doing today. So today's support for the pre-development work of the Bruce C project is a very important milestone for us, and that reflects the responsible, very deliberate approach to planning Ontario's energy future. So we are taking a very important next steps in advancing the Bruce C project, including readiness activities such as technology selection, workforce, commercial planning, developing cooling strategies, community readiness, and there is a lot to do, right? And indigenous engagement, and that's very important, and I get back to this. And we will continue, obviously, the impact assessment process that we have started in 2024 and that we are planning to complete by 2028. So a central part of this work, as I said, is ongoing engagement with the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation to help shape the project, also to minimize, right, the environmental and other impacts, but also maximizing the benefit of the project and the long-lasting benefit for all the communities. So today's announcement also includes support for community readiness. So I see my friends, mayors of our communities and all the municipal capacity, recognizing that very, very early planning is essential. Right? So agreements with the municipality of Kincardine, the town of Shogin Shore, the county of Bruce, and all the establishment of a regional assessment support fund for other municipalities across Bruce, Grey, and Huron counties. So that will help all the local governments to assess infrastructure, housing, hospitals, services, workforce needs when we are bringing this type of large project in the area. So the discussions we are having locally reflects something that is very important, that is part of our DNA at Bruce Power, a very strong community support. And we want to earn the right to do this project, and we are going to do it right. So independent Ipsos polling that we just did a couple of months ago shows that 86% of residents in Bruce, Grey, and Huron counties support exploring Bruce C. And 91% believe that it would be good for their community. Why is that? Well, that level of support reflects decades, in fact 70 years of experience hosting nuclear operation, the confidence in regulatory oversight, and a very clear understanding of the potential benefits. Right? The communities have been benefiting from having a large nuclear power site in their area for 70 years, so they fully understand the benefit of this. And those benefits are huge, right? They are significant. So an independent analysis led by Ontario Chamber of Commerce, so like Dan highlighted, estimates that Bruce C could contribute more than $238 billion of GDP. You heard this. It's a very, very large number, right? We struggle to fully understand that. It's a game changer. When we are discussing generational project, that's really one, right? That's a big one to support this type of investment. And that will support an average of 16,000 jobs, so you heard this already. So these are very skilled, long-term jobs that support families, strengthen supply chain, and help anchor economic growth across the province. I mean, as I tell my kids, right, working in nuclear, the beauty of it is that it's just an amazing experience. It's an amazing career. I've been learning every day in my life. You don't have lots of industries where you can have this type of career. So advancing Bruce C responsibly means ensuring public safety, environmental protection, indigenous rights, and community well-being remain at the forefront of all what we are doing. So we really appreciate the support of the Government of Ontario, the collaboration of municipal leaders, and the ongoing engagement of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation and the local communities. So your input will shape the path forward. We are going to do this together. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
We will now take questions from the media. Media present can line up behind me. Just a reminder to state your name and outlet before you ask your question. And it is one question, one follow-up.
Jeremy Borg from the Western Standard. The 200 billion number for this project has been said a few times. Where does that come from, and what metrics should we be looking for in the next 5 to 10 years to see if it's working?
Well, first off, I'll perhaps turn it to the Ontario Chamber. They did their own independent study on the economic value, but we essentially assess what is the return on investment for the cost to build a nuclear asset over the course of its lifespan. And the 4,800 megawatts, the power for nearly 5 million homes, the economic value to our economy to have baseload, reliable, 24/7 and affordable power. Nuclear has one of the lower costs when it comes to levelized costs of electricity over that asset span, will add or inject or bring an ancillary value to the economy of $238 billion, meaning in the absence of having that power source, we wouldn't be able to unlock hundreds of billions of dollars to our economy. The North American Reliability, they put out the NSERC report that assesses the reliability of grids. Ontario is one of the few jurisdictions in North America, one of the few in Canada, that are assessed as being stable. We actually have one of the few sort of islands of stability surrounded by states and provinces that don't have the power. So this investment is going to make a difference. How we benchmark it over the coming years is the construction jobs. We're estimating 18,000. We're estimating 6,000 plus permanent jobs over the lifespan. Pickering nuclear refurbishment, that's another 30,000 jobs right there. And obviously, there's more to come through the SMR project, which is, we estimate, about 18,000. So the benchmark of success is supply chain advantages, workers getting employed, and value to the economy being unlocked because we've got the megawatts. And many jurisdictions around us just don't have that power.
Thank you.
Dan, did you want to add anything? Please.
Well, just that, happy to share a copy of our study with you, but it looks at direct economic impact, so that's what's generated on site, indirect, which is up and down the supply chain, and then the third element would be what we call induced. So that's, for example, workers, people employed in the project or in the supply chain spending their incomes, right? It's using Stats Canada modeling, input-output metrics, and it's looking at GDP, it's looking at employment, it's looking at labor income, and it's looking at tax revenue for governments. So those are the key elements.
Thank you. Just one last question. Minister Leche, over the past few months, we've seen several representatives from Indigenous groups near the Ring of Fire say that they won't allow development unless their community's needs are met. Mm-hmm. How are you going about that, and are you going to be caving into the demands?
Well, we believe in partnership. I mean, look, at the Ring of Fire, we signed an agreement with the local First Nations to accelerate construction on that road this year. 5 years ahead of schedule, in part because we persuaded the federal government to remove the duplicative EA, given that the local First Nation was leading one, but through the province. The ultimate case study is partnership. That road and the community benefits we're bringing to that community, including new electricity and transmission, which I've authorized through the Greenstone line. I've designated the line. I've used my supercharging authorities to build the line. That was done in partnership with the 50-50 with the First Nations. So do not let anyone tell you you can't build fast, build at scale in partnership with First Nations. That's maybe that's a theory of the past. We are demonstrating, I mean, another case study, if I could localize it to Bruce, we signed with the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation. The three of us were together in their territory to announce a historic, unprecedented, for the first time, First Nation ownership model over medical isotopes at Bruce, over $200 million supported and backstopped by the province. That's a case study of partnership. So from energy and nuclear, including to transmission and minerals, we can do this together. I think First Nation leaders want us to fulfill our duty to consult meaningfully, and we're firmly committed to discharging that responsibility. But be under no illusion, we need to move fast. And I think every Canadian understands the very real backdrop of risk. So the Premier said, let's do it together. Let's be on one team, united by the same ambition, which is respecting rights, but building our economy. And both can coexist. Both can be true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That concludes today's press conference.
Thank you all. Thank you. All right.